In this video, Excel at Math Election issue, we are going to focus on coordinate geometry. So the first question here, and these are all past paper questions, we're given the diagram with the line segment AC and the points B, 4, 1 and P, 3, 3. B, 4, 1, add to the diagram, and P is the point 3, 3. As we read the question, jot down what you see. We're asked to write down the coordinates of the point A and the point C. So A is here, so we're going back 1, up 1. So A is minus 1, 1. C, we're going all the way out to 5, and then we're going all the way up to 4. So just take your time. Don't write 4, 5. It's 5, 4. D is not shown. It's the image of the point B under central symmetry, so bringing a bit of symmetry into coordinate geometry. Central symmetry in the point P. So we have to go through from B to P, and we have to do the image the other side. So what have we done? Let's look at our triangle here. We've gone back 1 and up 2. So back 1, up 2 will get us to here. Just rub out the lines, maybe make it a bit neater. So this is D, and that point is going to be out 2 and up to 5. So D is the point 2, 5. We're asked to plot and label, so I'm going to label it on the diagram. 2, 5 for D. Plot and label the point D in the diagram and join the points A, B and C and D to form a quadrilateral. So I'm just going to tidy up the diagram here. A, B, C and D. So just connect A to B, B to C, we're joining A to D, and you're going to use a ruler in an exam. I'm doing a freehand, and A to C. So what's happening next? Kate says that the quadrilateral is not a parallelogram, so opposite sides will be equal in measure. So we're asked to find AB and CD and use these values to explain why Kate is correct. So this goes back to your basics of finding the lengths of lines. So AB, we can see it's just a flat run from A to B. A is here and B is here, so no right angle triangle required. We're just going from minus 1 all the way to 4. So the run for AB, the length of AB, is equal to 5 units. Then we want the length of CD. The length of CD, so use Pythagoras for this, the way you would have set up all the questions that we've done so far. We have our right angle triangle. If you want to take it outside the diagram just to put the information on, the run, we have 3 for the run, 3 blocks and 1 up here. So the diagonal, the length of CD, is the square root of 1 squared plus 3 squared, which is equal to root 10. Okay. So we look at this junior cert question in its entirety. They've asked us to plot points. Everyone should be able to do that. Central symmetry you might not have covered in geometry yet, but you should be able to make an estimated guess as what it looks like. Joining points, first year material. Knowledge of parallelograms probably also covered in first year. And then the distance formula with AB was a straight line, and with CD was the diagonal of a right angle triangle. So hopefully everyone has made a good stab at this question before going and trying the next one. So in the next question, the previous one you were given 10 minutes, this one only 5 minutes. We're asked to find the coordinates of the point P, and the information we're given is the equation of the line K. I'm going to write it out again. Y is equal to 2x plus 5. It intersects the y-axis at the point 0, 5, which is here, and the x-axis at the point P. Well, when x is 0, we'll get the y-intercept, and you can see if you cover over 2x, you'll be left with y is equal to 5. That's the point 0, 5. That's the point P. Oh, the point P is the y-axis, x-axis intercept when y is 0. So if y is 0, we're going to be left with 2x 0 equals 2x plus 5. That's when y is 0, so 2x is equal to minus 5. So x is equal to minus 5 over 2. So the point P is minus 2.5, 0, or you can leave it as the fraction. We're given some information about perpendicular lines now, so this is the next thing that we've done. It goes through the point 0, 10, the line n. So we have a point on the line 0, 10. So we need a slope to find the equation of the line, and they want everything on the same side of the equal sign, as you can see here. So we need to get the slope of the line K. This one here. What information do we have? Well, we have a right angle triangle here that we can draw now on its own. So our right angle triangle, we can see the slope of this one is positive, and the rise here, we're going up to 5, and we're going back to 2.5. So up to 5, back to 2.5. So the rise 5 over 2.5. The slope is equal to 2 over 1. The reason I'm writing as 2 over 1, because when we flip it to get the perpendicular slope, we need it as a fraction. So we're going to get minus, change the sign, flip the fraction. So now we have the point 0, 10, and we have our slope of minus 1 over 2. And we fill this information into the formula you've already learnt off by heart. Y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. So y minus 10 is equal to minus 1 over 2 times x minus 0, which is just x. So finishing this one off, we're going to multiply the 2 by the left hand side, or both sides by 2 to cancel the 2, and we left with minus 1 times x. So we're going to get 2y minus 20 is equal to minus x, and they want everything on the same side, so we could bring the x to the left to get x plus 2y minus 20 is equal to 0. And for those that brought everything over to the minus x, be the same as multiplying this by minus 1. Minus x minus 2y plus 20 is also fully correct in the junior cert. In the next question, we have 4 points on the plane. The points A and B are shown, and we're asked to plot, again, the type of question you get every year, plotting points C and D. Let's put them on the diagram. C is 8, 4, so all the way out to 8 here, all the way up to 4. Point C, 8, 4. Point D is 3, 6, so out to 3, up to 6. The point D, 3, 6. So A, we're asked to put in here is 1, 1, you can see, A. And the point B is down here, 6, minus 1. And we have C and D given. So we have all the points on the diagram. What are we asked? She wants to prove it's a square, so all sides will be equal in measure if it's a square. So let's draw them up here. A to D, A to B. Use a ruler in an exam. A to B, B to C. It certainly looks like a square. And C to D, but we can definitely quickly get all 4 sides. But we're asked to follow this path. Show AB is equal to BC. So using your amazing knowledge of Pythagoras, just draw your right angle triangle to find AB. The length of AB, the triangle we're using is this one, where the rise is 2 from here to A, and the run to B from 1 to 6 is 5. So AB is the square root of 2 squared plus 5 squared. 25 and 4 is 29. And the other path they wanted you to follow was find the length of BC. So if we create a right angle triangle here, we just draw it separately. Try and keep the diagram tidy. So the rise here is, we're all the way up to 4, and we're down to minus 1. So the rise is 5, and the run is 2. So the length of BC is also going to be the square root of 5 squared plus 2 squared, which is also equal to the square root of 29. So the answer B1 and B2 to show that ABCD is a square. So we're asked to show AB is perpendicular to BC. We could also get the lengths of all these sides. I'm going to show AB is perpendicular to BC as well, but you can see here we have a run of 2 and a rise of 5 to find AD. And similarly, if we go this way, we'll have a run of 5 and a rise of 2. So you can see they're all root 29. But to show AB is perpendicular to BC, AB and BC. We have this one here and this one here. So to show they're perpendicular, the angle needs to be 90. So there's a couple of ways to approach it. Or the product of the slopes m1 by m2 will always be equal to -1 if they're perpendicular. Based on something earlier, we had 2 over 1 and we had -1 over 2 for our slopes. And if we multiply them, we get -2 over 2, which is equal to -1. So that's the easiest way, I think. So let's get the slope of both of these lines. So if we wrote the slope of AB, let's go back to our diagram. We can see all the slopes are the same because of the rise and the run, but the slopes are versions of each other. The slope of AB is negative. So it's this red line here. We just complete the triangle in red. So the slope of AB, rise 2, run 5. Slope of AB is minus the rise over the run. So the slope of AB is -2 over 5. Then we want the slope of BC. You're showing the examiner what you're doing by doing this. The slope of BC. Let's have a look. B and C. B is 6 minus 1 here. And C is up here. We can see the slope is positive 5 over 2. So you're taking your triangles. Slope of BC 5 over 2. And if we say -2 over 5 by 5 over 2 is equal to -10 over 10, which is equal to -1. Therefore, write the word perpendicular. So this question, the knowledge required was, we plotted points, we found the lengths of lines, and we looked at perpendicular slopes. So not much can be asked in junior stair coordinate geometry if you've practiced enough questions. When a question like this comes up with very little information given, you should be able to break it down based on your previous knowledge. So when we get a question like this, the line H has a slope. So given the slope, this is very unusual, we're given the slope. So you have to have real good knowledge of the slope to be able to do this question. And we're given a point on the line. Well, we'll draw a right angle triangle and try and figure out rise and run in relation to slope. So the rise, in this case, the rise over the run is equal to 4. And do we have any information on the rise? Well, we have the point 20, 12, so we've gone out to 20. So this is out 20, and we've gone up to 12, so we have the rise as 12. So therefore the run, if the rise equals 12, the run must be equal to 3. So what does that tell us about this? We're asked to find the coordinates of another point on H other than the point 20, 12. Well, if this run is 3, this point here must be 17 on the x-axis. So out 17, up 0 would work for the other point on this line. If we go out another 3 and up another 12, where will we get to? So that's definitely going to get us up to 24, isn't it? If we go up another 12, we'll be up to 24. And out another 3, well, we're at 20, so 20, 23, we have to 23, 23, 24. And obviously there's an infinite amount of answers. You can keep going and get more if you want. But that's, if you have great knowledge of slopes, this is a question where you're just going to get it straight away. So the function k can be written in this form. Well, this is a quadratic, so we'll leave that to when we're doing quadratics. We won't do it in this video. So the next coordinate geometry question, we're asked to write down the coordinates of the shop, the home, and the school. And each grid has lengths of 1 centimeter each side. So the shop, we're back to -3 and up to 1. -3, 1. For home, we're out to 4 and up to 2. 4, 2. And for school, we're also out to 4, but we're up to 5. 4, 5. Plotting points, nice and easy. Midpoint hadn't been asked in the last 3 questions, but the library is at the midpoint between home and shop. So the way we do these, we write down home 4, 2, shop -3, 1, and then we write down that we're going to add and divide by 2 to get midpoint. 4 minus 3 is 1, and 2 plus 1 is 3. And if we divide both of these by 2, we get 1 over 2 and 3 over 2. Or if you want to write it as a decimal, 0.5, 1.5. on the diagram, out a half and up 1.5 is approximately here. And if we join shop to home, we should have our point pretty close to our line. We would if we had a ruler. Shop to home, something like this, slightly off, but with a ruler would be perfect. Work out the distance from shop to home, so that brings in Pythagoras. So we've got this kind of long skinny triangle, so we'll just draw it again, put our values on. So from -3 to 4 is the run, so the run is 7, and you can see we're only climbing 1, so the distance, we'll call it from shop to home, is equal to the square root. You had a 7 and a 1 on your triangle, 7 squared plus 1 squared, which is equal to the square root of 50. We go back to the question, 2 decimal places, square root of 50 is 7.07 centimeters. Put in your units, correct to dp, and you're working out its Pythagoras. The distance on the diagram from shop to school is roughly 8.1 centimeters, and the diagram has this scale, 1 centimeter equals 2,500 centimeters. So 8.1 by 2,500 would give the actual length in centimeters, and we want the answer in meters, so units coming into this question. So we use a calculator, but 8 by 2,500 is 20,000, and the 0.1 is 10%, which would give a decimal in one place, so 250. I'm going to check it on a calculator, but I like having fun doing it this way first. So that's in centimeters. Meters, we'd have to go in 2 decimals, so 202.50 meters. Nice easy question for distance. Cleena walks from the shop to the school. Explain why the distance she walks is probably more than the actual distance. Well, that's a silly question, isn't it? There could be buildings in the way. She doesn't walk straight, I think is the answer they're looking for here. She doesn't walk directly. You might have to cross a traffic lights or whatever it might be. So make up some sort of form of an answer here that will get you the marks. The coordinate diagram below has the line L drawn from shop to school and the angle A is marked. Work out the slope of the line. So we can take any of the right angle triangles along the line. Easiest to take them if they have whole numbers, which this point does and school does. So let's just look at those two. So my rise and my run here. So rise over run. We can see that this is positive slope. The rise is from 1 to 5, so the rise is 4. And the run goes from -3 to 4, which we've seen already is 7. So the slope is +4/7. And find the equation of the line. And we want everything on the same side of the equal sign. So we need a slope, 4/7, and we need a point. We can take the point -3, 1. So write your equation, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So y minus 1 is equal to m, which is 4/7, times x minus -3. Simplifying this down, we're going to multiply 7 by the left. You can do it in one step. 7y minus 7, and 4 by the right. 4x plus 3. X is positive, so we'll bring the y over. 4x minus 7y plus 3 plus 7, and we've left nothing over here. So 4x minus 7y plus 10 is equal to 0. I hope you're all screaming at this point. So this mistake that I put in for you to spot, so I can test that you're watching the video at 19 minutes. The 4 by the x plus 3, 4x plus 3 is 4x plus 12, obviously. So be really careful with these. 4x minus 7y, the 3 becomes a 12, and the set 12 and 7 becomes a 19. So I will be asking for what mistake was made in the video. If you're not sure, I'll know you haven't looked at it. The last part is to work out the size of the angle A. So tan of the angle is the same as slope. If we look at this, the tan of the angle A is equal to opposite over adjacent off to the side. Opposite is 4 and adjacent is 7. Just going back to the diagram. Opposite is 4 and adjacent is 7. So the slope and the tan of the slope will give us the angle. So the inverse tan, always to get angle you have to do inverse. So inverse tan of 4/7 is equal to the angle A. So the angle A is equal to calculator is giving me 29. I'm just looking at the question at the same time. Correct one decimal, so it's 29.7 degrees. Now here we have the line J, and the line L is perpendicular to J. So the sides of the angle between them, well, perpendicular lines. The angle is always 90 degrees. And we have the n goes through to 0.61, and we're asked to find the equation of n. So this is a perpendicular line, so they've given us the slope. So m is 2 over 5. The perpendicular m is minus 5 over 2. You all know that already though. So nice easy questions hopefully at this point. So we have our point 6 minus 1, and we have m is minus 5 over 2. And you can see I write this down every time with the equation y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Y minus minus 1 equals minus 5 over 2. Minus 5 over 2 times x minus 6. So 2y plus 2. The mistake in the last one was minus 5x minus 6. Be careful to write plus 30. Multiply both. What form? It says you do not need to simplify your answer. Well, what in God's name does that mean? We can leave it in any format. But let's bring the 5x to the left. 5x plus 2y. And we're going to have plus 2 minus 30. So that's going to be minus 28 is equal to 0. So in part B, we're told to fill in this table. The lines, equations of K and L are given. Here's K, here's L. We're asked to find the slope of each. So the slope is based on the formula y is equal to mx plus c, where m is the slope. So in the first one we can see there's a number 1 in front of x. Slope is 1. And in the second one we need to write it as 3y, bringing 3y to the right. That will be equal to 2x minus 6. So y will be equal to 2x over 3 minus 6 over 3. So the slope of this one is 2 over 3. The point where it crosses the y-axis, x is equal to 0. We've seen this before. If x is equal to 0, in the first question, just read what's left. Y equals minus 1. And in the second equation, we can just read it as y is equal to minus 6 over 3 minus 2. So 0 minus 1 and 0 minus 2. Question 10 shows this coordinate diagram with the triangle ABC, and we're asked to write down the points. So just take your time. 2, out 2, up 1. B is out 10, up 2. And C is out 4, up 5. Double check all your answers. It's easy to make a mistake at this. Show ABCD is right angled without measuring. So that's perpendicular slopes. We've had this already. So you should be able to do this. So the slope of, we want the angle ABC. Show that ABC is right angled. So it looks like this one is the right angle. It has to be, doesn't it, if it is right angled. So let's get the slope of AC using this triangle. M of AC. Let's draw the triangle out here. The run is from 2 to 4. So the run is 2. And the rise is from 1 to 5. So the rise is 4. So m is positive 4 over 2, which is equal to 2 over 1. We'll keep it as a fraction. So the slope of the other one will have to be minus 1 over 2. So we're looking at BC this time. BC, this triangle. So what's my rise? My rise is from 2 to 5. My rise is 3. And my run is from 4 to 10. My run is 6. We can see the slope of this one is equal to negative rise over run, which is minus 1 over 2. So m of AC is 2 over 1. M of BC is minus 1 over 2. And 2 over 1 multiplied by minus 1 over 2 is equal to minus 2 over 2, which is equal to minus 1. Therefore, 90-degree angle. Therefore, the right angle triangle. Hence or otherwise, show the area of the triangle is 15 square units. So half the base by the height will give us the area of a triangle, or we could make it into a four-sided quadrilateral and half the area, but we should be able to get the base and the height, and that's always based on the right angle, the base and the height. So we need the length of these two lines using Pythagoras. It's obviously based on the slopes, which we've already done, and you've done this loads of times. So this one is going to be the square root of 6 squared plus 3 squared based on our slope. And this one here will be the square root of 4 squared plus 2 squared. So to get the area, so we have the square root of 4 squared plus 2 squared multiplied by the square root of, what was the other one, 6 squared plus 3 squared. And we're going to have to divide that whole thing by 2. So that's just your knowledge of Pythagoras and area of a triangle. So the first one is the square root of 20, 16 plus 4, multiplied by the square root of 36 plus 9 is 45. You divide all that by 2 and use a calculator. The calculator will break the surd up like this on top to give you 2 root 5 by 3 root 5, which is equal to 6 by 5, which is 30. And if we divide that by 2, we get our 15 square units. But you guys just type this in, it will give 15, and you've got the question done. Now we have the point D lying on AB, so CD is perpendicular to AB, so again, more right angles. So we're asked to find the length of CD. Okay, well we can do that just using Pythagoras. Or an easier approach. Now we have another height of the triangle, so here's the base. So half of AB, this might be the best way to do it, by CD will also be equal to the area, which is 15. Multiplying by 2, we'll get AB by CD will give us 30. Do we have AB? We didn't use AB in our previous calculations, but we have a rise of 1 and a run of 8 from 2 to 10. So AB is the square root of 8 squared plus 1 squared, which is 64 and 1. So the square root of 65 times CD is equal to 30. So just using the divide by root 65, we get CD is equal to 30 over the square root of 65. So this is third form, it's fully correct. The calculator will give a different answer, but it's the same answer. So this question, we have positive slopes, as you all know, and we have negative slopes, as you all know. The steepness of the slope will be important for this question, and also where they intersect. The axes will be important for this question. So very little information, given just 4 lines, and we have to match them off. So the key is to get 2 fully correct, and then we have a 50% chance of getting them all correct. So we can see they all, well, let's do both intercepts. So might be the easiest way to start the question. Let x equal 0 and let y equal 0, and let's see what happens in the ones where we have the equation. So if x is equal to 0 in the first equation, we can see y is equal to 3. Just cover over x and you can see what's left. Y is equal to 3. So it won't rub out for me. Y is equal to x plus 3 in the first one. In the second one, if we say x is 0, y is going to be minus 3. And in the third one, y is also equal to 3. So these two lines intersect. And then if x is equal to 0, in the second one, if y is equal to 0, x will be minus 3 for this one. Again, if y is equal to 0, x will be plus 3 for this one. And if y is equal to 0 for this one, 2x will be equal to minus 3. So x will be minus 3 over 2, or minus 1.5. So that should help us a little bit with the start of this question. So the two that intersect on the positive sense of the y-axis are these two. So this is pink, definitely. This one is pink. So which is which? Well, one of them is closer to 0, 0, and one of them is further away. Do we have any information based on that? One of them is closer to 0, 0, and one of them is further away. So we do. So that's quite quick. We can get Q is the one that's closer to 0, 0. So Q has to be this one, and R is the one that's further away. And if they're telling us the last one is S, well, this one has to be, is it Q or ST? Q or S, this has to be T, doesn't it? Let's see why it's T. Let's see, does it just match off? So if this one is T, what did we get? We got 0 minus 3 and 3, 0. So that's 3, 0 and 0 minus 3. So that gives us a point on S. S has the point 0 minus 3. and S is parallel. Q is parallel to S, so we just need the slope of Q. So Q has a slope y is equal to mx plus c. Q has a slope of 2, you can see here. M is equal to 2. So let's get the equation of this line. Y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. Y minus minus 3 is equal to m2 times x, and there's no, it's 0 for x, so we don't need to put it in. We can put in minus 0, but it's quicker to do this. So y plus 3 is equal to 2x, so y is equal to 2x minus 3, which is what they're looking for here. Y equals 2x minus 3. So we're asked to use algebra to find the points of intersection of these two. So simultaneous equations, back to algebra. So if I multiply, well, we have y in both, so I'll just multiply the first one by minus 1 to get minus y equals minus x plus 3. And I still have this one, y is equal to 2x plus 3. So adding both these lines together, I'm going to get 0 is equal to x plus 6. So x is equal to minus 6. And if x is equal to minus 6, y is equal to 2 by minus 6 minus 3. Y is equal to, just see I'm using the equation from the previous part. Let me just use the correct equation. So y is equal to 2x plus 3. So this one here. Y is equal to 2 by minus 6 plus 3. Y is equal to minus 9. So the point of intersection, minus 6, minus 9. Hopefully you're getting better. So the last part of this question, which would have been answered very poorly, it cuts the line, this vertical line L cuts this line at the point A and this line at the point B. So maybe this might be one you'd come back to at the end of the question. So find the distance AB. So I've drawn the two lines out and gotten their vertices. So we'll do this green line. Y is equal to x minus 3. 0 minus 3 is here, and 3, 0 is here. So this line looks like it goes something like this. The pink one has the point 0 on the x-axis, 3 on the y, and then minus 3, 0. So the pink line looks like it goes something like this. So if we think, we have a vertical line now on our axes. The distance between this point and this point is 3 plus 3, which is equal to 6. We're at 5 marks, but definitely going to separate the guys getting the top grades and the guys getting slightly below. So try and master every question in this video, and in lesson 10 we will test you on some of these.